Hello everybody, it's EzraTime again here. Welcome back to another reaction videos. And today we're going to be reacting to the game theory once again. It's been a while since Matpat uploaded any game theory about FNAF because I think Matpat does also a live stream, right? Asking about like, my next FNAF theory. And there is a new book that got released, obviously. And I think Dako also make a video on his channel. I haven't watched that to be honest with you guys. So I think Matpat is going to give some summary here. And then I'm just going to decide what I think about it. And this one is called the 3 New FNAF Timeline Theories. Oh boy, it just get more complicated, wasn't it? I mean, it's FNAF and it's understandable, but oh my god, like three timelines, really? I mean, it's just a theory, but MatPat got the theory pretty right so far, so I trust him. I'm just gonna say that. But anyway, let's just watch the theory first, and then we can judge it later. So without further ado, let's start the video, shall we?
All right! New Five Nights
Oh
at Freddy's
boy.
book drop. Let's see what's new to talk about in the world of FNAF.
Hmm.
Readers beware, you're in for a scare when Fazbear Entertainment unveils their most twisted creation yet, sea bonnies. Small blue fish with rabbit ears.
Sea
When Mott
bonnies, what
drinks
the
a
hell?
tainted glass of water, tremble as they multiply inside his stomach and steal his identity. One cloned human made up of thousands of little blue bunny fish.
Okay. What the actual? Yeah, same MatPat, same. Like what the hell?
Hello, Internet! Welcome to
Okay, this is
Game
getting
Theory,
really
the
wild
show that
and weird.
asks, have you signed my petition to make me the host of Jeopardy yet? I just need about 80,000 more signatures to get to our goal. And whether or not you know or even care what Jeopardy is, just know that your signature on that petition is a way to help support me getting to live out a childhood dream of mine. While also just a huge vote of support to all of your favorite digital creators who often get overlooked and tossed aside by mainstream media. As a great example of that, our petition, when it crossed 200,000 signatures in a week, got covered by one
damn.
blog. Huge shout out to Newsweek, thank you for recognizing a digital creator's value in the world. Meanwhile, an older school celebrity whose petition took nearly a year to get to the same place got tons of articles all over the place. Just saying, iniquity in this space is a real thing. Anyway, it's not like I'm gonna be leaving
it's
the
how
channels or anything like that if
media
anything
works.
were to come of this. So if you have any questions, those are all answered down in the description along with the links so you can
I'm
go
just gonna say
and
it, man.
sign it.
Mainstream
Push me
media
over the goal.
sucks,
I just
man.
love
Like, there sucks so much, guys. Holy
to
shit.
show the world
Sorry.
yet again why this community and why digital creators as a whole are worthy of attention and respect. I know you guys are. I'm fighting on all of our behalves, and I'm gonna keep shoving it down people's throats until they start to listen. Anyway, thank you so much for your support. Now, on to FNAF. You know the phrase jumping the shark?
okay.
It dates back to an episode of the classic series Happy
yeah.
Days, which aired in the mid-70s and early 80s.
Oh yeah, FNAF
This
definitely
show
jumped the
crushed,
shark.
running for 11 seasons and staying as a top 5 most watched show for 3 straight years. People loved this thing. Anyway, season 5, episode 3. At the peak of the show's fame, they do a special series of episodes where the characters all take a trip to Hollywood, and the cool guy in the show, the Fonz, is challenged to test his bravery by jumping over a shark on water skis. And as you probably guessed, he does it, complete with swim trunks and trademark leather jacket. It was a moment that was so ridiculous, so over the top, and so dumb that it single-handedly created the phrase that would forever after be used when a series loses all of its sense. At this point, FNAF, it's jumped all the sharks, just a big old shark sandwich, giant tower of sharks right there.
Megalodon.
The only thing that would make this more sharky would be if it suddenly introduced a shark animatronic. They haven't done that yet, right? Right? Okay.
Well,
there's still time. Those Bonnie Guppies getting dangerously close, just saying. But in all seriousness, over in
was weird.
Bookland, the Fazbear Fright series has just released its penultimate installment, and it's weird. Tiny rabbit guppies that steal your identity. A pink substance called Fazgoo that hunts you down and steals your identity. Animatronics that body swap you in order to steal your identity. There's a definite pattern in these stories, isn't there? Could animatronics stealing identities and humans not actually being themselves be somehow important to the lore of the series? Certainly seems like the books are beating that point over our heads. And honestly, this points to a larger trend here. For as crazy as these stories have gotten, and believe me, they've really gone off the rails at this point, there's definitely still merit in them from a lore-solving perspective. Because, as I'm about to show you, for every story about underwater rabbit guppies swimming around in your insides, there's another one or two that get you asking brand new questions questions about both the past and future of the franchise. So go ahead, take a break from eating your best friend that happened to fall into a vat of pizza sauce, something that, yes, also kind of happened in one of these stories, and consider the following 3 theories ripped straight from the pages of the books. Theory number 1, Chica started as a mediocre melody. In Fazbear Fright's book number 9, The Puppet Carver, we're told the story of Jack, manager of a failing pizzeria named the Pizza Playground. Yeah, it's not actually a Freddy Fazbear establishment. And you see, that's an important detail since every other pizza place in the Fazbear Frights book series has tied back to Freddy's in some way.
True,
but for some reason, this one is deliberately different. What's also noteworthy about the Pizza Playground is the restaurant's animatronic band, which we're told breaks down frequently. These things are straight up busted. The roster includes a banjo-strumming country pig, a bear creatively named Baron Von Bear, 2 other unnamed creatures that have already broken down, and a, quote, weird bird thing. Now, if the words banjo pig don't jump out to you, well, congratulations, you have a richer and more fulfilling life than I do, because when I hear that phrase, my mind immediately jumps to one thing: the mediocre melodies. The crew of broken animatronic rejects able to be purchased way back in FNAF 6 Pizzeria Simulator. A crew of animatronics consisting of a banjo-playing pig, an off-brand Freddy Fazbear ripoff with a southern accent named Ned Bear, a talkative hippo, a cute young frog, and an overdramatic elephant. They're characters that we all brushed off at the time because they just seemed unaffiliated with anything Fazbear related. And then they came back, returning an ultimate custom night where they collectively gave voice to Cassidy, the one you should not have killed, as evidenced by voice lines like this.
Everyone underestimates me, but then they turn their back and I'm like, boo, and they're like, what?
Sorry, queued up the wrong clip. It's this one.
This is how it feels, and you get to experience it over and over. I will never let you leave.
You know, it suddenly occurs to me that maybe they were the ones that had to be Cassidy's voice in this game, because he's a spirit who's trapped inside Golden Freddy, a spring-lock suit who was never actually given a true voice box, whereas everyone else in the series was given a voice, at least at some point. Just a thought that I had randomly in the recording booth as I was rereading these lines. Also, Springtrap is able to talk because he has a guy inside of him, so interesting. Anyway, the mediocre melodies, a generic Freddy alternative, a country pig that plays the banjo, unnamed other characters that break down frequently. It seems like Pizza Playground's animatronics are indeed the mediocre melodies, which makes the call-out of the weird bird thing being part of the band particularly interesting. Was Chica originally a mediocre melody? Chica has always been a bit of an oddball in the group. For instance, she's the only one to go missing for a game, specifically in Sister Location, when she's the only one of the core 4 to not appear. And if you'll remember all the way back to the teasers for Sister Location, Chica's party world was listed in the source code as a separate establishment away from Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals. We also know that Freddy and Bonnie have been together since their literal golden days, which means that Chica had to have been a later addition to the crew. Maybe she was with another band of animatronics the entire time. I mean, even the theme makes more sense with the mediocre melodies. Something about chicken animatronic wearing a bib just fits better alongside a farm-themed banjo pig and bear with a southern drawl. Kinda makes you wonder where Foxy the pirate comes in now, huh? Anyway, the reason I bring all of this up is that for a long time I've suspected that Chica is the key to the whole timeline of these games. No joke, I've literally had an email in my inbox for years addressed to myself reminding me to follow the missing Chica, since her coming and going from the lineup seems important, but up until now I've never had enough dots to put together in a timeline. We've known for a long time that she was the first to get stuffed with the little girl Susie. But now this story potentially connecting her to the mediocre melodies is yet another piece of evidence that we can use. So if you ever see a video titled "Follow the Missing Chica," you'll know that we finally figured it out. Theory number 2, Balloon Boy solves a lot.
Honestly, I haven't watched.
Oh boy, it's time I talk about
Balloon Boy solve a lot.
him. I don't know if you've noticed this, but 50...
It's him again. I haven't watched the previous Follow the Chica video. Is there another theory? Then I probably have to watch.
Videos into our FNAF series, and I haven't talked about Balloon Boy once. Not a
honestly,
single theory dedicated to that guy. Go back and check me on that, but I've intentionally avoided him, largely because he doesn't fit anywhere. His design is different, his behavior is different, he doesn't seem to be possessed by kids, and honestly, I've just never had a good sense of what to do with Balloon Boy in the lore of this franchise. Until today, in that same Puppet Carver story with the mediocre melodies, we're introduced to Porter, the handyman who's supposed to be in charge of the faulty animatronics of the pizza
Handyman.
playground. But Porter dreams of bigger things. You see, he's a bit of an animatronics genius, and his plan is to take wood and transform it into something alive. To quote from the story, "I'm almost finished with the prototype of my machine. It will create low-cost but highly functional animatronics made from only an inexpensive slab of wood." And not only is this guy a genius, he aspires to greater things. Quote again, "Once I get a patent on my invention and find a buyer, I'm gonna be out of here so fast I'll leave a dust trail." I mean, taking wood and imbuing it with the ability to move on its own, yeah, I'd say that's gonna earn you some quick cash.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's the thing, it works. In the story, we see Porter turn a log into an actual moving character, no remnant or Fazgoo required. He flips a switch on its back and it just comes to life. They describe it as resembling the drawing models from high school art class, but specifically call out that were you to put the figure in a fuzzy suit, it would resemble a bunny or a fox or a bear, and you'd have a low-cost animatronic. In short, it feels like this story gives us a lot. First, reading the story felt like reading Henry's origin, a brilliant creator and animatronic inventor just looking for a buyer to partner up with to launch his career, a buyer maybe named William Afton? Seems to me that Henry was a college engineer with a great idea, and his earliest experiments were in the form of these living wooden dolls. This, in turn, explains both Balloon Boy and the Mini-Renas. Remember, the book described his wooden puppets as resembling the drawing models from high school art class, which, if you're not familiar, are these guys. That is why we have so many living dolls wandering around these pizzerias that don't seem to have spirits inside of them, only able to say basic words like,
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
In short, Balloon Boy isn't an animatronic, or at least not in the way that we all consider animatronics, as, you know, living robots with dead children's souls trapped in them, infused with remnant, all that good stuff. Taking it one step further, this might even have timeline implications. Wooden dolls appear in pretty much all the games currently thought to be the earliest in the timeline. FNAF 2, of course, with Balloon Boy, but also very heavily in Sister Location. On the main console, there's a marionette named Little Joe, a doll named the Magician, a gypsy figurine, and a series of human heads. Ennard's mask, Music Man, the Mini-Renas, Baby, Ballora, even the puppet's face all seem to stem from this era of Henry's creations. It seems to me that the wooden dolls and marionettes were all designed as he was trying to develop the look and feel of the Funtime animatronics, leading up to the eventual opening and immediate closure of Circus Baby's Pizza World. As a reminder, Baby's Pizza World has never actually appeared in a game. Rather, we know that it exists based on hidden website text, and that it was closed down due to a quote-unquote gas leak, which is just PR speak for Afton's daughter getting nabbed by Baby, and the characters got retired down into the basement, which would eventually become Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rentals. The only game that happens earlier than these two is currently FNAF 4, and wouldn't you know it, that's also the only one without a Balloon Boy appearance, or rather a questionably canon appearance since Nightmare Balloon Boy was in it briefly as part of the Halloween update. Long story short, perhaps the appearance of Balloon Boy and the other wooden clown-faced characters marks the start of William and Henry's partnership. I know a lot of people tend not to believe me when I say that a lot of evidence points to Sister Location happening early in the timeline, but I think all of this is yet more fuel to that fire. And while we're on the subject of William, theory number 3, William Afton is a stepfather. At the beginning of this theory, I made the observation that a huge number of Fazbear Fright stories have a theme of identities being stolen. At this point, it feels like it appears once in every book. The other massive theme that keeps recurring in these tales are single-parent households, dads abandoning the family and just straight-up bad dads. Lots and lots of bad fathers. Up through the 8th book, 12 of 24 stories feature a single-parent home. Just to run through some quick examples, in the book Step Closer, there are 2 stories that have a dad up and leave the family. 1:35 a.m. is about a foster child that had an abusive foster dad. The New Kid, another abusive dad who left. The Cliffs is about a single dad losing his son. Breaking Wheel has the character Reed, who has a single dad who's, quote, trying his best. And in the short story What We Found, which is basically just a retelling of FNAF 3, Hudson loses his father when he takes his own life on account of mental illness, only to wind up with Lewis, yet another abusive stepfather. To me, this is not a coincidence. It's the books yet again trying to point our attention to a common theme in the game, that Afton may not be the father that we've assumed he was this entire time. At this point, we're fairly certain that the orange guy from the FNAF 6 minigame Midnight Motorist is Purple Guy, who is also William Afton, and we see that he's far from a caring and compassionate father, banging on doors, yelling at his son, making threats. Shock of all shocks, a guy who moonlights by kidnapping kids and running experiments on their remnant soul juices, and a father you want to go into the backyard and play catch with. Whoa, who would have saw that one coming? But the fact is, the books seem to be alluding to another layer in this, that he isn't actually Crying Child or Elizabeth's biological father. It would explain why Baby in both the Silver Eyes trilogy and Fazbear Frights feels a cold distance from her dad. Not just that he's lost in his work, but that he's not interested in her outside of what she can can do for his experiments. That might be why he actually prefers Henry's daughter to his own. It might also explain Afton's relationship with the crying child, how we've suspected for a while that Afton might have been running experiments on him, torturing him with animatronics and supervising him with surveillance cameras from his underground office. Taking it one step further, remember that story of Hudson whose dad took his own life? Well, Henry in both Silver Eyes and FNAF World is shown to take his own life. And Hudson in the Fazbear Fright story is a very clear parallel for Michael Afton. So could Michael Afton have started as Henry's son, only to wind up as William's stepson? Think back to the Sister Location cartoons.
Clara, the baby isn't mine.
An
The
undying
baby isn't
vampire
mine.
in purple repeatedly saying, "He's not my son," in between every night of that game. I mean, it is a big swing when it comes to theories, but I think there's at least some interesting parallels there to consider.
That's
Supporting
true.
this, we've also yet to see any adult females in the Afton household. Now, I've speculated that Bellora's song is about a wife leaving her husband when he can't escape his own grief, but who knows? That song could be related to Henry's grief at the loss of his daughter Charlie. In the original novels, we're shown that Charlie dies, and that Henry loses his mind with grief, leading him to eventually take his own life. What if the line about an empty tomb isn't William's sadness, but rather a song about Henry's? And that in the aftermath of his death, his kids go to William, his partner. Oh yeah, speaking of Charlie, did you know that the puppet's name officially was Coils the Clown for a while? It's true. In the story Jump for Tickets,
really?
we're introduced to a character named Coils the Clown who, quote, has a lanky body with lemon and lime stripes. It has long arms, 3 fingers, and a face that looks like a crescent moon that turns upside down when it's sad. And just like the security puppet in the game, Coils the Clown is canonically responsible for roaming around the restaurant looking for intruders and gets sad when a child dies accidentally on his watch. Again, like everything with all the books, there's definitely some changes that have been made, but the thought of the puppet having an actual name and that name being funny like Coils the Clown made me pretty happy, even though it was a small thing. So there you have it, friends. 3 more theories to chew on down in the comments below and on the Game Theorist subreddit. You can bet that I will be reading all of your thoughts, so make sure you keep them coming. I don't know if any of these will lead to massive lore revelations, but hey, they were things that I thought were at least worthy of calling out and thinking about. And all of this is without even mentioning the stuff that's happening around Security Breach. I mean, have you seen the new images coming out of their secret website? It's pretty terrifying stuff. Still early days to be sure over there, which is why I didn't want to comment on any of that yet, but you can bet that we're starting to get close to the actual release of a game in this game franchise. FNAF season is upon us yet again, and finally I'll have a game to talk about rather than more books. So stay safe and watch out for any misfiring animatronics tied to security databases. In the meantime, remember, it's all just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. You know, we joke about it a lot on the channels, but FNAF really...
Okay, so I think this is just a sponsor. Yeah, NordVPN. But yeah, that was a really interesting theory, I would say, because I feel like this is getting really, again, I feel like FNAF is already jumping the shark a lot, but this is really jumping the shark. Like what? Like fish Bonnie, like sea Bonnie or something like that in the beginning. Like that was weird. And then there is fast Q. I think I heard about the fast Q in the previous theory. It's just coming back on my mind. I was like, yeah, I mean that exists somehow. Even though I don't think this will tie in into the game, you know, I think it's just gonna be like a book material, but the game was gonna be like the usual FNAF stuff, well, usual theory, I guess, and not so much the FNAF game. Maybe it's gonna appear in the background or something like that, right? And if you guys are like a big fan of FNAF or like following Matpat's theory, then you might call that out when you actually play Security Breach, whenever that's gonna come out. I heard it was December, but I'm not really sure. It's just a rumor, so hopefully it does come out this year because I just can't wait to see that game. Not play them because I don't think my PC can handle that game. But I will say this: if the game actually come out and Markiplier decide to upload a Let's Play, I will literally do a Let's Play reaction. Yeah, that's an insane idea. I think I will do it. I will do a Let's Play reaction eventually to, you know, Security Breach. But either way, this theory was wild. Jumping the shark, obviously, jumping a megalodon, to be honest. But it's kind of cool that Chica was actually, yeah, because Chica doesn't necessarily appear in the sister location, and then the rest of the like a distant FNAF game, I would say that, like the FNAF game that actually break the usual gameplay, you know, like she usually doesn't appear, and it's kind of cool that she might actually part of the melodies, and the melodies animatronic actually get our origin story. That was really cool. You know, I'm sorry, that was really cool, I think, and yeah, I think Chica was actually part of them. You know, it's just like a weird bird-looking thing, but it's gotta be Chica, right? I mean, she's a chicken, right? Chica is a chicken, but still, a bird. Like chicken is a bird, right? Technically, that's why it's called weird bird thing. So that's really cool that we get to see like some origin story for Chica and then Balloon Boy as well, with the mechanic that somehow managed to assemble the animatronic just by just like I don't know, putting together several woods, and then that's it. Like, oh, like he was really smart, guys, and then just like um imme- immediately just creating this animatronic like that was also jumping the shark, because how do you do that? Like, it's really questionable, because I don't know, man. I feel like the FNAF theory is getting more wild. It comes to the point that I was just like, okay, this is getting really, really insane, and I just like I don't know if I was really interested anymore, because I don't know, it's just too much. And but I will say this: the third theory about William Afton is actually a stepfather, not the actual father. That was really cool. Theory one and theory two is cool. Theory two, I mean, the story. I'm talking about the story, by the way, for the origin of Balloon Boy. It's just like, what the fuck, man? That was weird. I know FNAF is always weird, I know, but it's just like it's too weird, and just like how did that happen? Like, what the fuck, But William Afton being a stepfather, that was really cool. Cool theory. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if the son was actually Henry's son the whole time, and then the other son basically go to William, because well, William Afton is Henry's partner. Like, that would explain his entire behavior, because I mean, you wouldn't have you would like these kids would like go to his father every single time if William Afton was their actual father, right? Because well, father was supposed to be there for his sons, but if William Afton was his stepfather, then that makes sense. Then why the kids just like again just staying away from him the entire time, or like William Afton doesn't give a shit about these kids, or like his kids in some way. Even though I guess it's technically not him yet. I don't know. I think William Afton being a stepfather is actually a really cool idea, and it does add up to the entire storyline for like the crying child, and again going back to FNAF 4 again. Um, but yeah, I guess that's my thoughts for the FNAF timeline. Again, I'm sorry if I'm rambling, guys, because again, this is just too much for me. Like it's getting really wild, I guess there's some cool stuff about like Chica's origin, William Afton being the stepfather. That was really cool. Like Balloon Boy being in the game theory finally like notice me senpai, But it's just like I don't know, like the origin story for Balloon Boy was really weird, and it's just like okay, like my suspension of disbelief just like went out the window. I'm just like okay, man, whatever, that happens. I guess I don't know. I know it's FNAF, but it's getting too weird and too wild, at least in my opinion about that. Okay, don't be a dick about it in the comment section. But still, in the end of the day, guys, I want you guys let me know in the comment section below what do you guys think about this theory right here. Do you guys think this is weird? Because I think this theory was super weird, but then again, it's FNAF, so it's probably not even a surprise, right? Again, let me know about that in the comment section below. I like to hear about them. And if you guys want to watch the original video, then I will leave a link in the description below. As always, make sure you guys check the Game Theory channel. I will leave his channel link also in the description below. And again, subscribe to the Game Theory and show some support. And yeah, if you guys enjoy my reaction video, then please like, comment, subscribe to my channel, ring that notification bell, share my videos up there. It really helps the channel, guys. And yeah, I think tomorrow is gonna be another Matpat video about Spider-Man No Way Home, because I think he released a new theory for from the film theories, obviously. So I'm gonna be reacting to that as well. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I think that's it for my today reaction video. Again, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, sorry for rambling the entire time, and I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.